KDTV. My name is Cristobal Polo Vasquez, President of the BBA, and today Ellen Trönes is with me and she is working at the Career Center at BI. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Please start off by telling us where the Career Center is located.
The Career Center here, our Karriereservice, which is what we were called, is located in C3. Mm-hmm. So it's very easy to find. It's right where you find the Master Administration and Bachelor Administration.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I hear you have some tips prepared for me.
I do, Cristobal. I have lots of tips. So let's just get started. Now, tip number one to prepare for the career fair is to just prepare what kinds of companies are going to be there. The more you know, the better, because then you can plan your time. Right.
But how do I know which companies will be coming?
Well, the information is available online, of course, and also here at school you can go to the stand in Oasen to talk to the committee that arranges this, and it should be quite easy actually to find out information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm currently in my second year. Is the career fair relevant to me?
Absolutely, absolutely. Even if you're not in your final year and actually applying for full-time jobs right now, it is a perfect opportunity to do the research, to get aware of what is out there and what could be a good match for you, and also to get to know what will they look for, what kind of competencies would you need to have that day when you are actually applying. So absolutely relevant for you.
Okay.
Right, and tip number 3. And we get this from lots of companies. They tell us that please ask your students to have some good questions prepared. You don't want to necessarily ask about the obvious, the thing that is saying right there on the roll-up.
But what exactly should I ask?
Well, questions about, for example, what is a typical day like to work in your organization? What kind of culture do you have? What kind of people work there? What kind of backgrounds? How do I fit in? What do I need to present to get into able to work in your place? Those kinds of questions really show some genuine interest, and that is what you need to be asking.
Okay, great.
And my tip number 4, I have so many tips. My tip number 4 has to do with your CV, because it's all about being ready, because they might have some interest in you and might ask you for your CV. And so you need to have it ready before the day starts. And Karriereservice, we have actually a CV day on Tuesday this week, where you can come by the main entrance for a quick CV check to make sure it's up to speed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I believe I've made use of that once and I've actually gotten 2 jobs through that. So
Fantastic, fantastic. Really good. Right. Now, tip number 5 has to do with one of the most common questions we get regarding your CV actually, and that is, should I have a picture on the CV?
Yes.
And our tip is, yes, you should. Especially in regards to the career fair, because it has to do with them being able to remember you, right? If you've been there talking to them on the stand, it's really good to have a picture on your CV so they can say, oh yeah, Cristobal, I remember him. We had a really good conversation. But when you use a picture, make sure it's a really good picture where you look presentable and not the one that you took in this weekend's party. Not at all.
All right.
All right. Speaking of looking presentable, my tip number 6 is to actually look presentable that day. I'm not saying that you need to wear your best suit for the career fair.
Okay. So is my attire overdoing it?
Well,
Is that too much?
I must say you look very, very nice and handsome today, Cristobal.
Thank you very much.
But I would say you don't need to dress like this for the career fair, but make sure you look nice and clean, and remember that this could actually be your first meeting with your potential employer one day. So you want to make that good first impression.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
All right, tip number 7. And this is important because we know that some students, they go for the stands with the best goodie bags. Have you heard about that? Because there are some goodie bags around, right? And our tip is to not let that be the guide to which stands you should visit that day.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, don't just grab the goodie bag and go. Just go to the interesting companies.
Okay.
Yes. Tip number 8. This whole week you will find is packed with lots of interesting courses and sessions that you really should attend. They are meant to inspire and motivate you, and it can be some really good insights.
I heard that Bjørn Kjus, CEO of Norwegian, Nordea, Google, Moods of Norway, and LinkedIn and Microsoft are coming.
Absolutely.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay.
This year's, I am really impressed with this year's program actually. So all of this is true, and you really need to make sure you get to go to that. My tip number 9 has to do with Microsoft specifically actually, because all brand new this year in cooperation with Karriereservice, we have put together a really awesome session with Microsoft on Wednesday at 2 o'clock in Finnøyen, where 3 brave, I must say, candidates, 3 of your fellow students have applied and been screened through a process with Microsoft to be interviewed live on stage in Finnøyen. That's pretty cool. And they will get feedback live as well. So it's a rare opportunity for you as a student to get a, behind the scenes, what goes on and how do these recruiters think. Yes.
Fantastic.
So that's on Wednesday. Yes, and we are at the final tip.
Ooh, okay.
Probably one of the most important, because at this school you have actually something called Karriereservice, consisting of 7 full-time career professionals who are just so eager to help you with your career. So that means that you can use us for go to our drop-in sessions, ask any career questions, and go to our courses, sessions, workshops, events. We have lots of it. So make sure you do that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us, Ellen Trønes.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking over the interview, and it's nice to be on the other side of the camera and being given some tips, and it's been very useful for the coming days, and I'm sure a lot of the students will take advantage of that. So, this is KDTV. Please stay tuned for the coming days.